Hi, and thank you for joining me in today's video. This is a video that I have been really looking forward to making and sharing with you, and that is about transitioning or preparing my feet for minimalist shoes. So I'm going to be running through with you the process that I've been through to, like I say, prepare my feet for barefoot shoes or minimalist shoes or zero drop shoes. And yeah, I'm going to run through with you what I've been doing over the last week or so. And I have a delivery for barefoot shoes arriving tomorrow, but I'll do a separate video on that, so I won't take up the time in this video. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Meg. Thank you for joining me today. And so today I'm sharing with you something that I have been really looking forward to filming, and that is my transition to barefoot shoes, or should I say getting my feet used to walking barefoot. So basically over the last couple of weeks, possibly even a month it's been now, I have been researching barefoot shoes, and I've noticed a lot of the YouTubers that I follow, so people such as at Heal Your Living and a couple of other YouTubers who run sustainable channels like myself, who I really take a lot of inspiration from and absolutely love watching their videos. They have done videos on barefoot shoes, and I started to come across this kind of new concept recently, really started to do a lot of research into it. Now, I'm somebody who, I've kind of briefly mentioned this in a previous video, but I'm somebody who doesn't tend to go along with fashion trends or get drawn into new marketing crazes and things like that. So whenever I'm doing anything, and I think this is a characteristic of a Virgo as well, I thoroughly research everything. I'm very meticulous. I like to analyze everything, and before I make any decision, because I want all my decisions and all of my purchases to be mindful, before I do that I research everything, and I make sure that I take certain things with a pinch of salt, and I don't get drawn into commercialism or the latest fashion or trend. It avoids excess spending and waste is, I think, more to the point. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of research over the last couple of weeks. I've been seeing lots of videos pop up about people on a similar journey to myself who have transitioned to barefoot shoes, and so I thought, okay, this looks interesting, this is something that, you know, I'd like to look into. And I started doing research, and it just immediately made sense to me. I tried to avoid videos where it was the brand or the company itself trying to sell you their idea, so I kind of focused more on personal reviews and people's own personal experiences of owning them and the process of going through that transition. Spent hours and hours watching, like I say, different reviews of different types of shoes, and yeah, what I have started doing is walking barefoot. So me and my partner, over the last week, we have been trying to, it hasn't happened every evening, which is what we really wanted, but time constraints and his work and the weather has made that a bit difficult. But we have been going outside and literally just walking barefoot. So we live in a pretty, what's the word? We live in a pretty urbanised area, unfortunately, so there's a lot of tarmac, there's a lot of roads, there's a lot of construction going on around. It was a bit daunting at first, because although it's natural for us actually way back along, or even when we're born, to walk barefoot, in the modern world that we live in, if you don't live in the countryside and you don't have access to much natural ground around you, it can be quite daunting. But we just took the plunge and we just went for it, and we just went out one night. We went out with the shoes, I think, and then took them off. I'll pop videos in here of the process and what we did, but yeah, and eventually, I think the next day I literally just said, let's try and not take our shoes at all and just literally walk out barefoot. And we have this little route around the block that's about half an hour, and I think we did pretty well. It didn't seem to faze me at all, if I'm completely honest. My partner actually, he seemed to moan about the stones a lot more than I did. But I'm a country girl and he comes from the city, and I'm a bit of I've always had an inner hippie, so maybe there's something to do with that. But yeah, I actually found that it didn't faze me. I walk around the house a lot barefoot anyway, and the stones did hurt. And of course, it is man-made ground, so we didn't really get to walk on a lot of grass, to be honest. So that is a bit of a shame. But actually, I found it really liberating, and I feel like that's almost a bit of a cliche, but it genuinely was liberating. And although I didn't feel grounded as such with the earth because most of it was on a paved area. It did feel really liberating, and I wasn't really fazed by the sharp little stones. And you do have to be more mindful, obviously, of where you're walking, etc. But yeah, just to basically run through with you how I've tried to get my feet prepared for barefoot shoes. So the whole theory behind barefoot shoes does make a lot of sense to me now that I've researched it. I did take certain kind of biases with a pinch of salt, I will be honest, but just accustoming, is that a word? Getting your feet used to using their muscles again actually is quite sad, because it kind of shows you how much we've lost that ability. But I am due a delivery, and I went with the Vivobarefoot brand. So they seem to be the most popular brand, if I'm honest, amongst maybe one or two others. And we are due a delivery. We've actually bought the same pair. So I think that should actually be quite a good, interesting way of comparing them with each other, if that makes sense. So that's due to arrive hopefully tomorrow. So I will be doing a separate video on why I chose Vivobarefoots. And I'll be doing an actual real unboxing video. It's the first time I'm doing a video like this, so this is all very new to me. So I literally will, if I can hold my excitement in, I literally will do a real, genuine unboxing of them in front of you on camera. So I might be a little bit excited. So yeah, so today's video was more to kind of share with you the transition and let you know how I've researched that phase that's required. You know, we spend a lot of time in very restrictive shoes generally, and we aren't in touch with the ground beneath us. And like I say, I will go into more detail tomorrow in tomorrow's video when I unbox them as to why I chose that brand, and kind of a bit more on my thoughts on the movement. And so yeah, today is more about just showing you a few little clips of walking barefoot, and we've been doing that for almost a week now. I think we're going to try and do it again today, and it's been amazing. And we did it on the beach, so I tested out some really quite rough areas as well, and like I say, it didn't really faze me, and this kind of reassured me that I was making the right decision. I did worry about the cost of them, and it's a big commitment, but again, I will go into that in tomorrow's video. This is just about making sure, I think, if you are considering it, then maybe try this out yourself. Do loads and loads of research and get your feet used to walking barefoot. Start in the house first, walking barefoot. If that's already something that you do, like I did, then that's great. And then maybe just trial up the road or out onto your drive or whatever it is that you have available to you, and then go a little bit further the next day. And then maybe don't take your shoes, so that you kind of don't have that to rely on. Obviously, if you are on terrain that doesn't allow for this, then obviously don't do anything that's going to cause you an injury or hurt you. But it's definitely important to get your feet used to this again, because we have definitely been wearing very restrictive footwear, and we haven't been using our feet and toe muscles like nature intended. So I'm really excited about tomorrow's video. I'll run through with you the different bits that I've personally learned. Obviously, I'm not an expert, I'm just literally sharing my personal opinion with you, and I'd love to have conversations about this. So this will be my first kind of category of barefoot minimalist zero drop shoes videos. And so I'm really excited about this. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping that it's successful, of course, but yeah, this is the first, hopefully, in a category of videos about barefoot shoes, and I can't wait to show you tomorrow's video. Hopefully this will help you to consider it yourself maybe. And yeah, it does seem like quite a massive commitment, but I don't think I need to do that all in one go. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've probably talked a little bit too fast. You can probably tell I'm quite excited. I'm still working on my confidence on camera, so thank you so much for your support. I'm always really grateful. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.